Oh, great. We were disconnected long enough. It started another stream because I just got the going live notification.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
In the restream chat.
Let me.
This is why, in general, it's better to be watching on Twitch or on D Live, because if we do disconnect, you're still in the same place that we're going to be when we come back. As opposed to, like, on YouTube, where if we're gone long enough, it starts up a fresh video feed.
I know, it sucks. Yeah, when I was doing the, I realized I didn't stream that last Final Fantasy role-playing game to anything but Twitch. I forgot to turn on the other two.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Because I was looking for your feed. I needed it to make the podcast version of the RPG feed that I do. Because I do put the audio up there. No, I got it. I have Twitch Leecher, so I just went to your Twitch and I downloaded the video.
Oh, good. I was going to say, I was live on Twitch.
Yeah.
But the last week, though, I disconnected twice. And so it was broken up into 3, so I need to download those and combine them again.
Yeah.
But anyway, I put the link up. If you're on YouTube, obviously you can't hear us, but I put the link up on the chat, so hopefully people will reconnect to the correct YouTube link.
Hopefully.
But if you're on Twitch, we're live again. Hurrah!
Boy, I don't know what's up with the Spectrum, man. They're pissing me off.
Yeah, it's a bad connection today. So anyway,
Sony invest into Starlink.
Yeah, sounds good. So Sony's investing in Discord.
Yeah. That's what we were talking
about.
So
is it going to be integrated into the PlayStation somehow?
Yes, it will be. It'll be integrated directly into PSN. So it'll like replace PlayStation's Party Chat. It'll be a new app that's part of the PSN. So when you go in to message people through PSN, it'll basically be messaging through Discord.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. I wish Nintendo would do something like that. I don't need them to do with Discord or anything like that. I just wish they would integrate a chat into something other than this dumb mobile app.
Yeah. So I don't even know. I've not used. Can you do chat through the Nintendo online app?
For select games.
Okay.
And it's voice chat only.
Right. Like Splatoon, I imagine.
I think the only 3 games it supports right now are Smash Brothers, Splatoon, and Animal Crossing. And that
Nintendo...
was loud thunder that I just heard behind me.
Yeah, and there's been so much speculation on why Nintendo, like, the speculation is that they just don't want to have to deal with all of the monitoring and censoring that they would feel like they have to do.
We can't have nice things because of frickin' assholes in SwapNote. That's where it all started. Frickin' sending dick pics to teenagers in SwapNote. Like, why do you have to ruin it for fucking everyone?
They just shut down SwapNote,
Yeah, and then eventually shut down Miiverse because they were constantly having to monitor that thing because people were drawing dicks left and right and stuff like that. I'm like, why?
Well,
who broke you?
Well, what are they doing in Splatoon? Because the same thing's happening. You can draw pictures and they show up, in the plaza in Splatoon. So what are they doing there?
They have mods that are just constantly looking at it.
Crazy.
Yeah. I loved Miiverse too. I thought that was a great idea. Nintendo having their own social media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I used to use it. I mean, it was compatible with so many games. Like, you could basically comment on when they had, what's it called? I can't even remember. There's games where you could play like parts of NES and SNES games.
Oh, the NES Remixes?
Yeah, Remixes. Yeah, that's it. Which to me was kind of interesting. It's kind of a precursor to Mario Maker. in
In a
that
way.
like remixed games where you could comment to people and say, yeah, you suck, and that's where I remember doing seeing a lot of interesting messages and such in the remix games. But
I was really active on Miiverse. Like
right.
I was on it so much that I had Miiverse bookmarked on my computer because I would go and check on messages in my browser because I was like, dude, this is so frustrating to just keep going back into it using the console. I already posted the thing I'm trying to follow up on. Let me just go do it in my browser real quick.
That door behind you is freaking me the fuck out, by the way.
Why?
Because it keeps opening and closing, or it did once.
But that one?
Yes.
Hmm.
Somebody opened it and looked in and then closed it, and I was like my heart skipped.
I wasn't
holy
even paying
shit.
attention. I was probably looking to see if I was done with my plate, so you could probably grab it or whatever.
Oh yeah,
I'm
but it
perfectly
was
fine with taking my own plate afterwards.
I've been watching a lot of horror movies. Like I watched VHS last night,
Yeah.
and I was, oh my god, that freaked me out when that door behind you opened. I was like, oh my god. And then I was like, oh, he has roommates. That's got to be someone.
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
God.
I don't get freaked out that easily, like at all. But that's because I know I can take care of myself.
Well, not if it's a ghost.
Think I'm afraid to punch a ghost?
Mm.
Come on. Who do you think you're talking to?
Those horror movies where like it shows people like talking on Skype and stuff like that, and like one person, something happens behind them, and that freaks me the hell out.
No, it's a quote my own comic with my character sitting there, and it's like, yeah, well, what if it is a succubus? It's like, psh, I ain't afraid to hit a demon or a girl.
Mm-hmm. There's a not to get off on that topic, but there is a succubus in VHS, and I kept thinking, have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I've seen VHS.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an anthology.
Yeah, it's an anthology. Yeah. Short stories. But in that one with the succubus, I kept thinking, dude, if
when
you
she
just
lifts the guy off and starts flying through the town.
Yeah. Yeah, but when she's like killing his friends, like she said she liked him, so I was thinking, if you just calm down, I'm sure you'd be fine. But he freaks the hell out, and then she kind of has to kill him.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hello,
no,
Dave.
I'm not afraid of ghosts. I've been dealing with stuff like that my whole life. I don't care. Even like in my dreams, I don't have nightmares anymore. I have things that like maybe a normal person would consider a nightmare, but I have too much agency in my dreams.
Yeah.
There was like something. I was sleeping in my dream, or I was trying to go to sleep. Right, I was in a bed, and there was like something underneath like a blanket that was like bouncing around, walking next to the bed. Like you couldn't tell it was under there. And I'm like, leave me alone. And I just turned over. But then it was like a dodgeball was just bouncing against my back. And I kind of like donkey kicked the thing in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't give a shit anymore. If a ghost or a monster or a demon wanted to fight me, I'd probably just be down to fight it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Day remember said, "Where'd the steam go?" I don't know if he meant where'd the stream go, but
I don't know.
We are live. We are still live. I checked D Live.
It says we're live.
Yeah.
It just died because I've got very inconsistent internet. Like, it's great up and down when it works. It just decides doesn't want to work.
Yeah. Mine's been doing that too. Weirdly, random times. But so do you do a lot of games still where you chat with people, or?
Who, me? In general?
Yeah.
Yeah. I play a lot of games where I chat with people when I can. This is talking about having the time to do it, but it's also if I have people to chat with. But yeah, I do. I just normally do it on the computer. I don't give a shit about PSN anymore. I don't play PlayStation. I haven't in years.
But like in some games, like I guess, I don't know, Call of Duty, I guess. There's like a chat in the game, right? Where
Yeah.
you can talk to people.
A lot of games have. I hate in-game chat. I always have. Because a lot of in-game chat only works when you are either in like a specific lobby or when the game is running. Like Borderlands. I was streaming Borderlands 2 with a group of people. I ended up going a group of 4 people, all different characters through all of Borderlands 2. And I was told them, we're using Steam Chat. They're like, well, look, Borderlands is in-game chat. Why don't we use that one? Because the in-game chat cuts off during loading screens.
Mm-hmm.
We're using Steam Chat, and I'm recording that.
Mm-hmm.
I used Steam Chat a lot before there were other options. Well, before there were other options than TeamSpeak 3. Because to have a good server, you had to pay for it back in TeamSpeak.
Mm-hmm.
You ever use TeamSpeak?
No.
No. I used it for a while. I've used a lot of it. You remember Vent? Like, you ever used Ventrilo? For like
No, but I've heard of
rating
it.
and stuff. Yeah. That used to be like the go-to chat for like WoW raids and stuff like that. People would just go to Vent, and you'd get it for all kinds of stuff. Like people would play Halo with Vent running off their computer, and they would just connect with people or anything. And then TeamSpeak kind of replaced Vent. Like that was what everybody used for a while, but you had to pay for a server if you wanted more than just to hook up with a few friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I'm trying to remember what was the next one. I think it was Raid Chat. Raid Chat was kind of like the first Discord before we had Discord. Mm-hmm. Raid Chat was like TeamSpeak, but everything was put into that kind of like servers text like we have now with Discord, and there were different talking and texting channels and stuff. And Raid Chat was pretty good. I liked it. It was good. You could set up for karaoke. I used to be in a Raid Chat for a big League of Legends group that I was in. But then ever since Discord was an option, I just everybody uses Discord these days.
Yeah. I never was much into. See, I only recently, and I mean, just like in the last few years, I've gotten into like online gaming at all. Yeah. Anyway, except WoW and like Ultima Online and that sort of thing. But it was only basically the only games that I have played a lot of where there would even be a reason to chat has been like Splatoon and Splatoon 2, probably. And when I'm playing like Splatoon 2, sometimes I'll talk to Peach, especially if we're doing like salmon runs together. Yeah. Because she likes to swear at the other idiots that we're playing with who never,
swear at the 12-year-olds.
Yeah, who take the elevator and leave us behind and stuff like that. She's like, son of a bitch, I'm right behind you.
He's like, you are aware that there's a good chance that the people we're playing with are like between 5 and 10 years old, right?
Yeah, exactly. But that's the only she's the only one that I ever like talk to while I'm gaming. So I've not partaken in any of these chat apps that you're mentioning. I just that's for the younger. That's for the kids. That's for your generation.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been in online gaming, right? Like, so I think even on the Wii, but before that too. But on the Wii, I was super into it. I used to play Super Smash Brothers Brawl all the time against just like randos online. I was really good at Brawl too. Like, I was probably much better at that than I am at the current Smash Brothers. And I used to just play Peach. And Peach was actually my main back in Brawl, and I would just run and start wrecking people on Smash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never got into Smash Brothers. I guess I've played a bit of Mario Kart online, but there's not really anything to talk about.
I was really big into Mario Kart online on both the DS and 3DS. I liked Mario Kart DS more than Mario Kart 7, but I played a lot of online for both of them. And specifically, probably the game that I invested the most time in online was Metroid Prime Hunters, which had a first-person shooter mode. Or it was a first-person shooter, but had a multiplayer lobby that you could play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I used to play that, but it was a long time ago. But yeah, I used to play Metroid Prime Hunters too.
Yeah, and I would destroy people in that game. Like, I was too freaking good.
Yeah. I was terrible at it. I'm terrible at first-person shooters. That's why I want to get into the Metroid Prime series, especially if Metroid Prime 4 ever comes out. But I'm terrible at it. So bad. And I see people I follow this woman on Twitter, Balespawn, who's like a Doom master, and she's like posted, video of her just absolutely owning Doom, and I'm just like, how do you do that? I'm terrible at these games.
I don't know. I've got really good Twitch reflexes, so just micro reflexes of turning things like really, really fast.
And I was never good at Doom, particularly even in college. When I was 20 years old and stuff. It's and I used to play Quake a lot and stuff like that, but I was always terrible at it. I just never liked first person. And there was another. I wish I could remember the name of it. Right around the Doom Quake era, there was this game that Microsoft, I think it was Microsoft, came out with that was really a really awesome first person shooter at the time, but I don't think they ever followed it up with any sequels or anything. But wish I could remember the name.
Instead they just started focusing on Halo.
Well, many years. This was long before Halo.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Halo was actually not even originally a Microsoft product. It was going to be Apple. But then Microsoft scooped it up. Yeah. It was going to be developed for Apple computers.
Hexson was one. Yes, I played Hexson. That's not what I don't think that's what I was thinking of. I don't even know if it was such an obscure game, but it was big for 6 months back in 1997, I think.
Yeah. Well, there's also the Doom-like game made by one of the 3 creators of Doom, Daikatana. Mm-hmm. But that game is a mess because it was supposed to be like a movie that you played, right? It was by the actual director of the 3 people, and it was one of the first game you would use the buzzword cinematic for, but it still functionally played like you were playing Doom, and that with mods it's a great game, but that is not ever a selling point for a game. It is a mess, but it's a mess that you have to play and experience.
Yeah, I never played that, but I think you've told me about that game.
I think you pick it up $5 on Steam. It's a really cheap game at this point. It's one of those games that just has a very special place in gaming history.
Yeah. Watch, I'll look it up, and maybe it was Hexson. I don't think it was. Yeah. But at any rate, I won't look it up now. But I'll think of it eventually, GMT. But yeah, it was more realistic. I mean, it was almost. It kind of reminded me of GoldenEye, that sort of game, but it wasn't that. Yeah. It was a piece of game.
Your GoldenEye was legit. GoldenEye was stupid though at the same time because of where they put the camera, and the headshots ended up actually being in the camera place, which was in the torso. So in the original game, you could cheese people a lot.
Yeah. I need to be able to shit talk people when I'm playing Pac-Man 99.
I need to be able to shit talk people when I'm playing any game. That's part of it. Gaming is competitive, and if you're doing something competitive, you have to be able to shit talk. That's just part of the bonding process, and also part of getting into the zone of doing anything competitive. Mm. I want to shit talk somebody while doing competitive Animal Crossing.
Yeah, really.
You want to hear something I used to do in Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
Back in Wild World, me and one of my friends, we were terrorists. We were legitimate terrorists in Animal Crossing. There was this place called Animal Crossing Community. I wonder if that place still exists. I'm gonna look it up while talking, and it was like an online forum for connecting with people in Animal Crossing. You'd put your friend code down and you'd exchange it back and forth, and you just, you'd go to people's towns and stuff. So when I would go in, and eventually this account got banned. Oh wow, this place does still exist. Hopefully they don't actually know the name of the account, so they don't ban my current one. But this account got banned because I would drop in my friend code and be like, hey, I have a friend who wants to come with us. Do you want to let him in? So I dropped the friend code, they'd exchange, we'd both go in. And the moment that we got into the place, we would immediately change the way we look. We'd have like these, the cafe, those kind of like desert hats that are like a towel draped down. You have like a band around it so it keeps its shape. And some gas masks on. And I would like pull out a golden axe and he would start talking to like a shopkeeper. Because the way that game worked, you could not eject somebody from your game while they were talking to any NPC. And I'd make demands. I'd be like, give us 1,000,000 bells or I will chop down all of your trees. So they could just turn the game off, but if you turn the game off while connected online, you could eventually, like, potentially screw your game up. Like, it could get corrupted and stuff like that. So we were, like, legitimate terrorists in Animal Crossing Wild World. It's pretty fun. Talk about people that have to ruin things for other people.
Yeah, you're gonna run through all their flowers, destroy them.
Chop down every single one of your trees with this golden axe if you don't give me 1,000,000 bells. A lot of people didn't even have 1,000,000 bells to give.
What did they do?
They lost all their trees.
So mean.
Yep. I was a teenager. Like, what do you expect? Teenagers are little shits. I knew this before I was a teenager. I knew this when I was a teenager, and I know it now. I've always hated teenagers, even myself when I was a teenager.
I wonder if what I was thinking was Descent, maybe? Did you ever play Descent?
I don't think so.
Come on, it came out in 1995. You had to be, like, not born yet, right?
Well, I was born, but...
Yeah, you were born.
I was like, what? I turned 4 that year?
Oh,
Well, that's not to say anything, though. I had really early memories, and my dad let me play a lot of things he shouldn't let me play. Like, I remember, barely, but I remember the original Mortal Kombat, which you definitely should not have been letting a toddler play.
What, like the original Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. I was legitimately a toddler when that game came out.
Yeah. That's a bunch of puzzles.
But my dad didn't care. He let me play anything.
So
my mom cared, but he's like, she's not here. Whatever. He let me watch like Starship Troopers when I was 10.
Well, I think I've said the first horror movie I ever saw was American Werewolf in London, which I saw when it came out when I was like 4 or 5, 6 maybe. Yeah. I don't know. My mom actually took me to the theater to see it. It's like, I didn't want to see that. Not to mention Aliens.
Remember bugging some kids in the youth group you were a part of to show how they did the moves in Mortal Kombat 1? None of your business. Yeah, that's I was usually the one getting bugged to show people how to do the moves. Not in that one because I was too young, but like later on as I started playing more games, I was always the one figuring those out.
Yeah. GMT, I had to allow. Apparently, she got auto modded for the name of that game, Redneck Rampage. I don't think so. It might have been Heretic, which was the predecessor to Hexson. I might have been thinking of Heretic. So she was on the right track, I think, with Hexson, because Hexson was the sequel to.
I think the first horror thing I've ever saw was the original 90s TV series for Stephen King's It, with Tim Curry playing Pennywise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My parents thought it'd be smart to let a toddler watch that and wonder why I was so aggressive towards clowns my entire life. But only like the full like facial like white painted clowns. Even Ronald McDonald. No problem towards like most other ones, but I also watched like the big comfy couch growing up, and you know, if I had to say I have any first TV crush, it was probably Lunette the Clown. Which
Now,
was,
when
what was
it
her
came
name?
out was 1990, so that was before you were
Well,
born.
no, it
right?
was before I was born, but it came back on TV, and they had a lot of that stuff on VHS, and they just decided, hey, you're like 2.5. I'm just gonna put it on. You're not gonna remember this anyway.
Yeah, V miniseries. I remember that.
Yeah.
Did you ever see V
I don't think I saw
with
V.
with the lizard people?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
Let's see. That came out in. Oh my gosh, how do I even remember that? Came out in 1983. Man, I remember that though. I guess I must have been 6.
Yeah.
Man,
I'll let us go a few minutes later since we got disconnected a couple times.
Yeah. Excuse me. Is none your business older than me? I think he might be.
Maybe.
The lizard people seem to freak me out.
I mean,
What
I've seen a
lizard then?
lot of things that were older than me, but you know, it just depends on. Most of it's my parentage, right? It's like whatever my parents watched. If they had it on VHS, they'd watch it again, and I'd see stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, V minutes. Okay, he's a little younger than me, I guess.
yeah,
But yeah, I bet you the game I was thinking was Heretic.
yeah.
So I think that came out in 1995.
Well, I didn't. So like games like Doom and stuff, I didn't play until later though, because even though I was playing games early on, it was very few that I, as like a toddler, would play games that were related to PC and stuff like that until I was older, because my parents just weren't PC gamers. They liked Nintendo, so I got to play like a whole bunch of Nintendo games that came out before I was born. But anything else, that just really wasn't the case.
See, I grew up on basically platformers and RPGs.
Yeah, same.
So that's just, I mean, that and like, well, I mean, if you want to go way back, I grew up on like, what do you call it? Basically arcade games, because, you know, Atari 2600 was almost all arcade games.
Tons of sports games. My
I hate
dad
it.
loved them. His favorite game ever is Super Batter Up for the Super Nintendo. Yeah, I had the not the original John Madden football, because the original never came to console. It was on PC first, but I did get the first version, or we had the first version of John Madden's football that was available for the Super Nintendo. And we had NFL Quarterback Club. We had RBI Baseball, like a ton of just baseball games, football games, all the sports games that were available back then, even a couple hockey games and stuff like that, because my dad was always into sports, and I was never that big into sports. I would play them. I was always more about like engaging in person. I wouldn't watch sports, but I'd play sports games because it's kind of the same as like engaging with the sport. I don't want to watch somebody do it. I just want to do it myself.
Yeah, I played ice hockey on NES.
Yeah. You ever play the old sports games on like the I don't know if Atari was specifically the one that did it, but it was like them or a competitor, where it's literally just Pong, but then you put like a colored screen over the TV to change what game you were playing.
You mean the Odyssey?
It was the Odyssey, yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Odyssey?
The Odyssey, and you put like there's like a green felt or a blue felt, and it changed which game you were playing.
Oh,
was
now
all
you're
just
playing
Pong.
tennis.
Yeah.
That was the one where like, and you didn't just have to move it back and forth, like you can move them side to side all over.
Yeah, yeah. It was advanced Pong, but that's all it was.
Yeah, advanced. I think that came out in the 70s.
Yeah, but being able to move forward and backward is already advanced compared to the original Pong.
Yeah. No, I never played it, but I've seen the AVGN episode.
Yeah, yeah. No, my cousin had one. I actually did get to play one, but all he had was the tennis screen. So.
Mhm. Is that the one where it was like game 1, game 2, game 3? Like
It's all the same fucking game, though.
yeah, exactly. Have you ever played game 4 on the Odyssey? That one's great. No, the first game console I ever had was Atari 2600.
No, okay.
And the first game I ever played was Grand Prix, which was a racing game. And then, but I had a friend who was really good at it and had the boxing game for where it was like overhead. You had 2 guys that were just punching. You had to punch them in the nose.
Did you hear about the Atari's new console?
The one that's gonna have Earthworm Jim.
I didn't think it was Atari. I thought Intellivision is the one that's going to have Earthworm Jim because yeah.
Oh, then no. What's Atari's?
Yeah, no, Atari's got a new console coming out. That's already been tested by quite a few people. Can't remember the name of it though. But it's got like an advanced version of that old controller with the joystick and everything too.
Cool. I had that joystick, and then at one
VCS,
point we got like the I don't know what you call it, the pilot stick joystick.
Yeah.
It actually had 2 buttons.
Yeah.
One on the side.
But yeah, it's going to be called the Atari VCS, codename Atari Box, and it's a mini console produced by Atari, but it's going to have like new games.
It looks like it says PC console.
Yeah, it's like
so
a PC integrated console.
Oh, you're right. It has the old joystick.
Yeah, it's got like 2 controllers. It's got that classic one, but it's got more buttons on it, some in the front and stuff, and it's got like a normal legit controller that's like similar to the Pro controller and stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, they really gotta they gotta have the paddle controller.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I used to
with
play
the cord.
Boom.
The cord doesn't even have to plug in. I want the cord dangling there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The paddle wheel. I mean, to play, if you want to play Breakout and Kaboom, I mean, and Pong for that matter, you got to have the paddle wheel.
We can make it for driving games and stuff too. Like, there's certain games it could just work with, but it's just there for the gimmick.
Maybe that'll come out later. Was this crowdfunded or was this?
I have no fucking clue.
It looks like something that was crowdfunded. It's got the wood paneling on it.
Yeah, it looks like you would put it right on your actual console with your VCR and a bunch of stuff like that. I think that's why they call it the VCS. Even though like virtual computer system is what it's clearly going to stand for, but it's got like that naming mechanism that you would have for stuff back then.
Oh, so it'll boot from a USB drive, so you can boot to Windows 10 using a USB drive.
Oh, that's cool.
When is it coming out? Is it going to have Discord built in?
I don't know. I'm sure if you could boot to a USB drive, you could probably just put Discord on it.
No. Man, $400.
Yep. Oh yeah, it was crowdfunded. It says shipped to backers in December 2020.
It looks like something. So, it says product will arrive spring 2021.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we were going to talk about this the other day, but we just didn't get around to it.
Yeah.
And you brought up Atari, so I figured I'd mention it.
Yeah, GMP says, reminded her of the Steam box.
Steam box was the dumbest idea. The controller, though, is legit, but the Steam box is stupid. All this is just a streaming box. Right? You still have to have like a computer that has Steam and stuff on it to stream the games from, but it was just a box that was going to wirelessly over your internal network of your house, like your Wi-Fi, stream games from your computer to like your TV. It's like, well, why wouldn't I just build a tower computer as a media server for my TV then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because theoretically, this would be cheaper, easier to set up.
But would it be better? Like, streaming games in general is kind of dumb. I mean, it would be better to do it across your own Wi-Fi than, say, streaming directly from the internet. Because ultimately, like, well, could I plug a Ethernet cable in and instead of streaming it wirelessly. I can actually just stream it through a landline. I don't know, but it seems dumb. I'd rather just have the thing that has the information on it right there plugged into the monitor. I mean, I use my computer for gaming all the time. Some games even let you do split screen and stuff like that, like Sonic Racing All-Stars Transformed, one of my favorite racing games, on Steam. Still has all the same split screen features that any other version of the game has. You can just plug a bunch of controllers in and play right off your computer.
GMT says that's the Steam Link, the Steam Box. Oh, that's the Steam Link. The Steam Box was Valve trying to get manufacturers to make consoles that were really PCs in a pretty box.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember the difference between those. Still, it's a dumb idea. Because was it going to be an OS Lite? Was it just going to be the visual operating system looking thing? Because if you start up Steam, there is like a Steam like OS thing that can pop up almost that looks like the PlayStation screen and stuff. It can take over your whole full screen and you can operate. Yeah, and it's like, it's so dumb.
It's all browser based too, right?
Yeah.
Why Steam OS exists. I don't know. Gimmicks. Yeah. I'm sure this Atari thing is going to fail. I mean, how is it possibly going to...
I don't know. I guess
if they crowdfunded, I guess they already made their money, so... But
I have more faith in the Intellivision because it's a gimmick console, sure, but it's already got its own proprietary game with Earthworm Jim. And it's a console, it's not a computer. Like, you're actually going to plug it in, it's going to play a game with it. Well, I mean, technically all consoles are computers, but with its own limited operating system that just plays like a console, and you just do. It just does. That's the benefit to a console. Like, Xbox and PlayStation, they're starting to get closer and closer to computers anyway. And the whole point to a console back in the day was put cartridge in, hit start, it works. I'm playing the game. Now things are getting so complicated. It's like, why am I doing this over just playing on my computer? I have to do all the same shit. Oh, now I got to install the game to the console?
Yeah, it's got operating systems, and it's got got to download an OS update, and it's got to download a game update, and it's got to connect to the internet, all this bullshit.
Might as well just be playing on my PC. It's like, well, it's cheaper than a PC. It's like, yeah, but if you take all the money that you spent on consoles and put it towards a PC, you can upgrade it as often, if not more, than when you actually bought a new console.
Yeah. And we already have Discord built in.
Yeah, for free. I don't need to be paying PSN or anything like that. Because that's the other thing, right? So, going back to the original part of the conversation, integrated to PSN, you still have to pay for PlayStation Network. I can use Discord for free on my computer as long as I've got internet connection. Or my phone.
Well,
that's it.
Anyway, I think we're in agreement.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for showing up. Sorry for the little hiccups in between. I can't control the internet or the weather, so whatever. Maybe one day I'll control the weather. Who knows? I don't know what the future lies for us. But if you enjoyed the show, please share it with somebody else you think might like it. Or if you really enjoyed it, consider donating at streamlabs.com/vomitoriumlive. For some reason, the alert box in general is not working, even though I copy and paste the same thing in there. I'll have to troubleshoot why that's the case. But regardless, we'll see you tomorrow in the next episode of Vomitorium. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.